Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Friday the 13th of September 2019. Now, please don't worry about Friday the 13th. I know it's said to be unlucky, but in numerology, it really isn't. 1 and 3 is 4, and 4 is about stability and security. So if anything, Friday the 13th is a day to make things right and to settle down and create some space and to lay down an anchor and to put down roots and to feel secure and settled. Now, I am the luckiest man alive. I get to do what I love every day, and I get amazing things like this in the post. So I want to say a huge thank you to Sarah from Conversations with a Wounded Healer. This is the podcast that she does. Here's the information. Check that out. I was on there with her, and it was just such a fun experience. And she is now, imagine getting a card like this that says you're a freaking magical unicorn. It just makes you feel so special. So Sarah, thank you. You made my day, really, with sending me these. And then she wrote as well that this is a personal tarot deck. So this is the one she uses, and she sent it to me. So Sarah, you are so generous, and I just feel like the luckiest person ever. Seriously. So let's have a look at these cards and let's make use of them to see what's going on Friday the 13th. Okay, and I'm just knocking on them because sometimes you just get the guidance that it's important to get rid of energy that's already been imbued in these cards and to make them mine. So that's why I knock on them, to get rid of any other energy and to... It's kind of like bonding with them. And the touch, the shuffling is also a way of bonding with the cards. So let's see. There we go. Okay, so let's put these to the side. We have the 9 of Swords, a worried unicorn. That's not nice. The High Priestess, a resting unicorn. That's better. And then the 9 of Pentacles, a unicorn in a symbiosis, a falcon that bites off its ticks, which it can't get itself. So they're best friends. So that's awesome. Right. So what does this mean for Friday the 13th? First of all, there's worry. Worry. Something's going to go wrong. I'm superstitious. Friday the 13th, something always goes wrong. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy in some way. If I feel like this day is cursed and I go into the day believing that, utterly believing it, then I'm going to manifest a cursed circumstance. I will. Because whatever your truth is becomes reality. I know someone who is always happy. Always. And that is the fundamental truth about this person. And when there are difficulties, the difficulties will be handled. And because the fundamental state of mind is happy, life looks very happy. So it's another example of you manifest your hopes and dreams by making your inner landscape beautiful and rich and abundant, and then the outer landscape reflects that. Life is malleable, okay? Worrying is a meditation on the negative. So you're manifesting negative things. So not only are you having a bad night's sleep, poor little unicorn not able to get some rest, and you're lying there at 3 or 4 in the morning going, oh my God, this is so scary. Hand it over, que sera, sera, worrying about it and biting your lip and going over and over and over it all the time, that's only going to make it more likely to happen. And also remember that 99% of the things we do worry about never happen. The really bad things usually come out of nowhere and swipe us from the side. Now, this super chill high priestess unicorn, she is in front of this canopy of pomegranates and palm trees and these two pillars. So she's beyond the world. She's like a gatekeeper to the other side. And she's reading because she has access to the Akashic records. She's the keeper of the Akashic records. So, of course, she's going to dip into the library once in a while to read and to inform herself. She has mastered fear because she has all knowledge. She's beyond anything. She's just eternal. An eternal symbol for eternal knowledge. And we all have ancient knowledge within us. And we can teach ourselves by going inside and connecting with higher beings that have specific information that we can then use and implement on planet Earth. That's quite advanced. I mean, I struggle with that. I did that when I was in Lourdes in France. There was Lourdes is where Saint Bernadette, the Virgin Mary appeared to her and said, dig a well here, it's healing water. And the girl did, and the water came and it healed lots of people. And it's a Catholic church. I went there for my own reasons, healing reasons. And I channeled not the Virgin Mary, but I got in touch with higher beings, and it was quite a full-on intimidating experience. So just make sure you're ready for it and you're willing to work with them, and that is productive. If you're not going to do anything about it, and if it's just something that you're doing because you're bored, then don't bother, because it's quite an emotionally draining and quite a serious thing to do, to connect with these higher beings. It's something to take seriously. So the High Priestess here is at the center of this reading. And at the center of the reading, it says, listen, unicorn number one, that you are, don't worry about anything today. You know what's going to happen. You know that everything's going to be all right. You have access to all knowledge. So just see yourself as you truly are. The Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is the happy unicorn. It's got a citrine crystal there on its rump, because citrine is the crystal of money. The falcon is there because usually the falcon represents the woman who's usually in the position of the unicorn, training this falcon to become obedient. And training a falcon is not an easy task. It takes discipline. This card is about discipline. And because she is so disciplined, or he, this unicorn, he creates abundance and prosperity and money, but it's a slow process. Disciplined, working hard every day, that makes you happy in the long term. It's a long-term goal, and it creates a nice, solid, easy foundation, because we live how we feel we can live. Some of us feel like we have to live in a city where it's super expensive, and we live in these little sardine apartments for outrageous prices because the work is there, and that's normal, and that's the way you live. There are other human beings who live in the jungle and have no modern technology at all, and that's the only way they know how to live. Now, you have the advantage of being educated and being able to make your own choice. I don't think any of us are ever grateful enough for how much we've been given. We've all been educated. You know, a couple of centuries ago, going to school wasn't mandatory. Some people never got an education. Some people these days don't get an education. We're educated. The cards today are saying, at the truth, at the fundamental core of things, you know exactly what is in the cards for this day, because all you have to do is pull aside this veil, you pull out the book in the Akashic Records labeled Friday the 13th, 2019, which is one day, which only happens once. You take the book down, you read all about it, you know that it's a good day, and you get to rest. Okay? You've read the Friday the 13th scroll. Now you're like, oh, that's a nice day. There won't be any fear in it, and I can rest and chill. Which means that you choose to be the Nine of Pentacles. You have a lovely day with adventure and anything that you kind of work towards and that you put discipline into is going to bring you a lot of joy and happiness and riches. And it can be riches in terms of money, but riches in terms of, I've made a friend, or I really feel like I've mastered this falcon training technique now. I feel so good at this. I'm an expert. I've mastered. This is my first successful go at it. It's a sense of pride. So instead of worrying about what could be, as soon as you find yourself worrying, step back from the worry. Imagine the Akashic library in front of you and the unicorn guarding it. Pet it, stroke it on the nose a little bit. Horses always have the cutest, softest little noses. I love rubbing those. Give it an imaginary apple or something and stroke it and go on a ride for it, whatever. Then go into the library, look at what's going to happen in the day, or just ask, universe, how's this day going to make me feel? And you might get a sense of, or you may get a sense of, yippee, hooray. But it doesn't matter. You don't need to know the details. You get the answer in terms of what feeling you go away with. And you go away with a sense of rest and comfort and ease. So you don't have to worry about it because you're rested and you haven't been tossing and turning all night. Because you have a connection with something bigger and spiritual. That's why you don't have to stay awake all night. You understand that it's nothing to worry about, so you have a good night's sleep. So you get to go into the day feeling energized, having your friends with you, working at something you love that is long term. This little snail symbolizing a slow, long-term effort. And you're building a life for yourself that is beautiful and glorious and structured and relaxed. It reminds me of this film I saw, which was called Call Me By Your Name. And a couple have this beautiful house out in the country. And he works as a professor, but he also has this house and he takes a lot of time off. And he makes money in a way that I guess the university pays him, but he gets to live in the middle of nowhere with beautiful nature and absolutely no stress, no traffic jams, nothing. And what I keep getting today is one, that you have nothing to worry about and you can rest and you can feel comfortable. But the second message I'm getting is that you can transform your circumstances. And I keep being told about this different way of living, that there's a different way to live. So look at how other people live today. Drive around, or if you're in some sort of a lesson or something, look at different people and see how they live and what the options are. And that all, this is important, all options when it comes to how you live are available to you. You can go live in a commune in Israel if you want. You can start your own business. You can work at being a taxidermist, if that's the word. You can be a horse breeder or an import-export agent. Whatever it is you do today that you care about and that you put discipline into is going to be valid, positive, and it takes on life. It takes on a life of its own because it's a permanent thing in your life that moves very, very slowly. So whatever you feel drawn to in terms of, I want to put some effort into this, that is your job. You can identify, this is my job, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. If you get that urge today, I want to put some effort and work into this, then you found your perfect ideal job for now. So it's an opportunity to really transform your working situation and to say, I don't have to live like this. Life is not a prison. I am not bound and I can live differently. I understand how difficult this can be, and fire and air signs aren't going to struggle with this. They can just walk out the door. But water and earth signs, like I used to work for a bank, and getting out of that job was, it was like losing something really important, because the way that a lot of businesses set themselves up is you get benefits and you get shares in the business for a cheaper rate and you get health insurance and all of that. And they give you all these benefits so you won't quit. So when you quit those jobs, you feel like you're totally up the river with no paddle. But you are. So you get an insight of what you could do today. And it doesn't mean you have to quit your job immediately, but it means that you can start doing what you adore on the side, and that you can transition out of a job you don't like into something beautiful that you do like, because you've now read the information of the day and you realize that this is what's on the menu today, discovering whether you're in the right vocation or not. And if the answer is no, you immediately get presented with the right answer in your mind's eye. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you again so much, Sarah, for sending me this beautiful, beautiful deck. I will continue to use it, and I'm really honored that you would send this to me. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, guys. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the book your session button on the front page or the readings tab to order your reading with me. I use astrology, tarot, and numerology in my readings, so I can answer any of your questions. Have a glorious Friday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.